In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latin, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
9 minutes after 8. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the third hour of the Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation. It's Thursday. It's the 14th. Terren. Tudum, 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 tudum. Hey, today there's a guy called Kipto. He's the boss at EPRA. Yeah, he'll be signing a statement. Kipto, lakini rafiki yangu tafadhali usiongeze mafuta. Please.
Yeah.
Please, Kipto. Usiongeze mafuta tafadhali.
Kuna wataalamu hudu.
Unajua tuko COP. Right. Na tuko COP tunaongea mambo ya kusema hii fossil fuel imalizwe. Ukiongeza bei ya mafuta tutamaliza fossil fuel. Na hatutaki kumaliza fossil fuel.
So hatuwezi?
So usiongeze mafuta. Ndio wasijue ati mambo ya fossil fuel bado inatumiwa Kenya. Sindio? Now, City, we've been talking about Tala for a while, right? Tala as a companion. Tala as a companion of yours. And you know, in the other hour we said, someone calls you and tells you, well, boss, so you save 15K? Kuna, deal na Ivana mahali hivi by the end of the week like this. Alafu sasa, ikikuja, takusort. Yeah. So, Tala can be that guy.
Tala can be that guy and more. Because it isn't just when someone needs help from you. It's when you need help from yourself.
Yes.
That emergency. The child has started to fall sick. Okay? And you know full well that your card does not cover outpatient.
Yes.
And you need to out that patient first. And when you look at your bank account, they've told you have 150 shillings.
Boy.
And that is not going to cut it.
Boy.
Then what do?
Boy,
Tala comes in really, really, really handy. That's where Tala becomes your friend in need. And indeed, he becomes a friend in deed. Yes.
Yeah. Please download Tala today and start using it. So go to your Google Play, download Tala. It's a simple registration process. They're just going to be asking you a couple of questions. It's KYC, know your customer. They also use that information that you are giving them to determine, well, what kind of person that you are. Remember, it's a trust business. They've never met you and you're asking them for 15K.
They don't even know you.
Yeah. Do you have some 5K urgently?
And you've indicated where you live. And the truth of the matter is they don't know that even whether that's actually where you live.
Yeah. So if you want them to sort you out with 5K urgently, you need to give them some information. But that information is protected. One, by regulations, Central Bank of Kenya regulations, because they are regulated by CBK. They are also regulated by the Data Protection Commissioner, because they are licensed by the ODPC, okay? So it's important that you give them that information. Then start borrowing, kidogo. Borrow that you know you can repay, just borrow, repay. That is helping you to increase your what? Credit limit. So the day you need 50K urgently, you can go to Tala and get the 50K urgently, real urgently. So namna hiyo. Mambo is like that. Now, there was a statement that was released yesterday by Meg Whiteman. She's the outgoing U.S. ambassador, right? Well, let's tell people, why do we talk about your roast? What is it? What's the story behind this?
Behind why she's going?
Meg Whiteman and saying your roast.
It's okay now. Speaking of formers, former Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, when he met Meg Whiteman, one afternoon when they were discussing...
Who's otherwise known as Meg Whitman?
Otherwise known properly as Meg Whitman. In what would be known as Kenyan lingo, he said to her, "Hey, Meg, you're lost." And she said, "No, I'm not lost. I'm right here." I'm right here, actually.
She didn't get it.
Not lost. She didn't understand.
How on earth?
And I think neither did he.
The DP was basically saying, umepotea.
But she said, "I'm not lost."
I'm not in the wrong room. I'm supposed to be
Right.
meeting with the deputy president. Am I not?
I'm right here.
And this is the deputy president. Is he not? You can see
That's
she
where
was
it's all from.
the perturbation on her face. Clearly perturbed.
Actually, she wondered.
Really, because she trusts Americans to take it directly.
Yeah, but
Like,
that
what do you
one
mean? I'm
was-
not lost. I know.
No,
it's
that was
supposed
the
to be
deep end. She was dunked in the deep end.
Proper.
And she understood Kenyanese on the spot.
So, Meg Whitman, otherwise also known as
Megan Whiteman.
Bas.
anything.
Megan White.
White, Megan White, Meg White man.
She released a statement yesterday where she said that she announced to the team at the embassy that I have tendered my resignation to President Joe Biden. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve the American people by strengthening our partnership with Kenya. She explained, like all U.S. ambassadors, I serve at the request of the president. The American people have spoken, and a new president will be inaugurated in January. I wish him and his team every success. As a Kenyan, there were very many people who, of course, responded to this on social media, saying, this is. Some were saying it's rather unfortunate that she's living at this point in this kind of manner, with the kind of response that she's receiving. Others were saying, kuna ndege inatoka sahi.
Kuna ndege inatoka jana. Anaweza tumia ile ya jana.
KQ inaendanga saa ngapi New York?
Honestly.
Ile direct flight.
Ile direct.
Sio kusimama Amsterdam.
Yeah. But she did her best.
Actually, she did more than her best. If you look at the effort that she put, and which we can credit her for, putting Kenya on the map and trying to seek business opportunities and partnerships for Kenya, it is more than very many people in her position have done before.
I think she's the only one to have done it to the extent that she did.
Yes,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
it isn't. She's not one of these fly-by-night ambassadors who just came to Kenya for a visit and 3 years later went and you wondered, were they really here? No, she was actually here.
Yeah.
And what she did is something that we know and we acknowledge.
So there's two sides to it. There are those who look at it in terms of what we're used to getting from ambassadors from America and Europe. Those daily lectures and daily long statements.
And telling us how to
talking about
behave.
things, right?
And how to tie our shoelaces.
Yeah.
yes.
And then there are those who say, all right, so she did not focus on that side of things. She focused on entrenching relations between Kenya and America business-wise.
Yes, she did.
Looking at, okay, so we've got AGOA, it's still in effect. How can we make AGOA work better and serve you? All right, we have new conversations on a new trade pact being spearheaded by Kenya and America. How can we fast-track this so that it works? We've got very many opportunities for American companies to come and invest in Kenya. You have got a State Department for Investment. How can we work together to attract American investors to come and invest in Kenya in whatever spaces they are in? And I think on that, she scored very highly.
My friend, when somebody goes out of their way to ensure that huge American companies that we only read about seek and find ways of anchoring their business in this region in Kenya, and many, many more businesses that previously had not even been heard of coming to work in this region, you cannot say that this person did very little. This person did a great deal. Yes.
All the best, Meg. Okay, don't worry. The next one will come.
We will know.
And we will know.
When they have come, we will know.
Very good.
Yes.
Our Justice Thursday conversation begins now. So we've got the COP conversations happening in Baku, Azerbaijan. But also here, we have to continue having conversations about how climate change is impacting very many things, especially land use and conflict on land. And that's why we have the presiding judge of the Land Division of the Environment and Land Court, the Honorable Lady Justice Lucy Mbogwa, with us. Just good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you here. And now, because of this Gen Z era, we can call you Your Ladyship, my lady, or you guys in the court.
Any will do. Any will do.
Karibu sana.
You guys.
Yeah. So you guys in the labor court decided, not labor court, but the environment and land court decided, let's actually create divisions, a division for land and a division on environment. You're heading the division on land.
Yes.
So we'll talk about a lot about what your division is doing. But first, CT will welcome you with the day's proverb. CT,
Yes, please.
where are we this week?
We are in the Republic of Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
At least that one, Justice, but that one you're okay.
Yes, our proverbs for the whole of this week are in the Republic of Kenya, And one of the things that we wanted to do was to ensure that it is truly Kenyan. If we look at the many communities that are Kenya, the one unifying component is our language, Kiswahili. Everybody identifies with it, and it is the language of Kiswahili that we are going to use. If you see me prolonging the introduction, it's because I'm looking for the page where I wrote the proverb.
It's a very short proverb, Judge.
Yes, but looking for it is taking long.
But it has very... Have you found it?
I have found it.
Very good.
Okay. I will want you to tell me what you think it means. But before that, I'll want you to tell me what you think the translation is in English. Okay? Nyumba njema sio mlango. Nyumba njema sio mlango.
A good house is not the door.
Good. That is direct translation. Excellent. Now, what do you think it means, Justice?
What you see on the face of it does not mean that the inside is the same. That is to me what is the meaning. I don't know whether I've tried.
Oh, you put it beautifully. Simple and to the point. What you see isn't the whole story. Yes.
There's more.
There is more to it.
There's always more. Yes.
Don't judge a book by the cover.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't judge a house by its door.
Don't judge a house by its door.
Definitely.
Yes. And don't judge a radio talk show by his spectacles.
Hey, yes, Judge, for those who've been living under a rock until this morning, please tell them what first the Environment and Land Court is, and then the Land Division.
The Environment and Land Court was created out of a craving by the Kenyans towards the 2010 Constitution. The Kenyans wanted a dedicated court which will hear their land and environment matters, because these are issues which are at the heart of the Kenyans. You know, land is everything. Whether small or big, it is very, very important. But in Kenya, because of the various problems, including economic problems, political problems, legal problems, land and environment issues were difficult to litigate upon. But now the dedicated Environment and Land Court, upon its creation, was able to handle those disputes, those conflicts in a specialized manner, such that the court does not handle all these other cases, traffic, succession, commercial. We just deal with land and environment. And for environment matters, they affect the earth, the global earth. So they even need more special attention to be fast-tracked, to be done quickly, because if that is not done, it affects everyone. That is why the court was created. And in July last year, we also felt the need now to go further and have specialized divisions. So we have the Land Division and the Environment Division, such that now land matters are not mixed with environment matters and vice versa. If you have an environmental dispute or a development dispute, it will be fast-tracked in that division without being mixed with land matters.
Okay. Who are the litigants? Who are the folks who are coming to the land court or to the environment court?
To the land court, I would say it's everyone. The big, the small, the corporations, the individuals owning even kiosks, and the ones owning land, tracts of land. Those ones come to the land court. But for the environment court, you'll find that it's more limited to, let's say, the developers, the people who are building high-rise structures, the class actions where there is need to do some large litigation. But the common citizen, they don't really come to the environment division so much, and that is why we are now trying to bring a lot of awareness about that division, so that the human rights issues, environmental issues are taken care of in a more speedy manner.
Why don't they previously, historically, have they not come to the court from your understanding?
The environment
matters. Why don't they bring them to court? And if they don't, where are they going?
Well, what I would say is that the environmental issues or conflicts, they don't seem as if they affect the common mwananchi. You know, the common mwananchi is more concerned with what affects them as an individual. My plot, my 50 by 100 plot. But when it is flooding occurring somewhere in Mathare, maybe they feel the government will take care of that issue, or some NGO will take care of that issue. So there is not so much the need to deal or to litigate on environmental matters as much as it is in land matters. Yet.
So land matters is people who are having disputes over Kamugoda. Someone just feels, huyu amesongesha beacon, huyu akona title ya shamba yangu, matters of succession on land, right? And those are many then, in terms of the various cases that come in on matters of land. Are there people who come to court on matters of land use?
Definitely.
Example, for example?
For example, the people who are the developers, the people who are developing lands. Let's say now it's in a residential area, but they would want to put up commercial buildings, those high-rise buildings. And there's a conflict because people in that area, they would want their area to remain as it is. And they see these new developments will affect the outlook of the whole area.
And such matters. So what is the application? We do not want, because it's not a change of user, is it? We do not want, this area to move from low level, maybe up to 3 floors, going up to 7, 8 floors. What would the justification for such an application be? It can't just be Mr. Kimutua niangalia kiwa kwa balcony na niko kwa nyasi.
There are many things the court will look at. Let's say, for instance, the court will look at the available infrastructure, the sewer system. So if it's a place where there is no sewer system, but you are bringing developments which will have human traffic, which is a lot, increased human traffic, you have to consider such things. If they are, what else can I say? Even water, if the availability of water. So it's a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
When we've had issues of in some of the more affluent estates in this, no, not really. We've had them in literally every estate we have in this town and probably the country, where it's a residential area and someone wants to establish, put up a cultural establishment where there's very loud music, they're selling alcohol. Do those cases come to you as well?
They go to the Environment and Planning Division. But that is part of the Environment and Land Court. So they do come to us, but in that particular division. So the Environment Division is Environment and Planning.
Okay.
It encompasses issues of environment as well as planning.
The task or the duty bearers, those who are supposed to ensure that ordinances and laws and rules are followed with regards to the use of land or the use of property in such areas, that one is nestled with the county government, is it not? It is them. Now, this is what I find strange. The establishment is put up. It is there. It's there for a number of days, a number of weeks, even a year. Then there's a complaint. Now, I want to ask the question of public participation. In cases such as this, when clearly the use of that land has been changed, and there are people living around it, they see it coming up, they have no issue, and later they have an issue. If this matter comes to you, what exactly will they be complaining about beyond the noise? Because they saw this thing coming up. It's not as though they didn't. Nothing was done. Nothing was said.
There are many things that can come up
Yes.
in between the time of the development was put up and when the complaint is arising. Maybe the issue you have mentioned, the public participation, it was not meaningful. And people come to realize that what happened, they actually did not participate in the setting up of that establishment. So they will raise the complaints. Or perhaps the establishment itself mutated whatever they were supposed to do. Maybe they were to put up a restaurant. Then suddenly they have the discos. They have the, nightly activities that go on into the night. So many things can happen. There are very many varying factors to be considered.
How radical can the court get? Because here we are saying that, all right, here public participation did not happen, or that a development has gone up, for example, that is far outside what it was originally offered to be. How radical can the court get? Can the highest judicial officer in this court say, well, then, this building must come down, for example?
What I can say is that a case has to be considered on what evidence has been availed. So we can't go looking for more evidence beyond what is presented by the parties. We rely on what is brought. But what the Environment and Land Court is doing, we are now leaving our chambers, going outside to create awareness. For instance, now the conference we are having on 25th to 29th of this month in Eldoret, just to create awareness about these matters of environment and having collaborative approaches with the actors, the county government, the national government, the professionals, the communities. That way now it's a sort of an educative platform where now people are more aware, such that now when they come to court and they're presenting evidence, it will be more, can I say, reasoned, and the court will be able to give a more reasonable decision. Yes.
We are witnessing something changing about our land use across the country, okay? So more and more people are moving from where they originally stayed and going and buying land elsewhere and putting it into different use, commercial agriculture, and going into big-time agriculture. And neighbors start complaining. This person came and bought a couple of acres here in our neighborhood, and they've decided to go into big-time agriculture, which is using a lot of pesticides and all. They have sunk 4 boreholes on each corner of the plot. They are then also spraying a lot of pesticides, and we feel that it's affecting us. And secondly, we have owned this land for long, and we have left it bare and barren. He's come and put in a fence, an electric fence, that is now also affecting how we graze our livestock. Such kind of conflict. Person has bought land, they have title, they have right to that land, but then the community has a problem with how they are using their land. Is this a land issue? Is it an environment issue?
Sometimes it can be mixed grill. Now, like the example you have given, and all the judges in those divisions, they have jurisdiction to handle the cases. So the cases can be handled by any. The dominant issue will be considered. But it will not be an issue as to where the matter can be handled, because the judge has the jurisdiction to handle the cases even if they are mixed grill.
Okay. Let's take a break. The conversation continues shortly. We are having our Justice Thursday conversation this morning, and the Honorable Lady Justice Lucy Mbogwa is our guest. She is the presiding judge in the Land Division of the Environment and Land Court. She's here to talk about the role of the courts in addressing climate change, and also to create awareness about this conference that will be happening from the 25th to the 29th of November in Eldoret, where they'd like you to come and interact with officers of the court so you can get to understand what's this court about. The judges will be there, and the officers from the this particular court will be there to explain to you the kind of cases that they handle. And if there's been a matter that's been going on for long, you can bring it to their attention. Judge, sasa hii kesi yangu mjamaliza na huyu mtu bado anaendelea kulisha ng'ombe kwa shamba yangu. Mnataka nifanye nini? Takata hii ng'ombe.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.